start with you. Obviously, huge game, Western Derby, first one ever in WA. How are you feeling ahead of this weekend?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's probably been a task keeping the girls focused for round one. It's natural that we're looking forward towards round two and the RAC Derby, but we're really looking forward to it now and ready to go.
Obviously, some bad news. Steph came, ACL confirmed for her. How did the group react, and who potentially gets a chance to come in this weekend and play?
Yes, Steph was amazing on the weekend, the way she reacted. Obviously, it's a huge disappointment for her, but the way she got around the girls up on the bench and really professional, which is what Steph's like and what she'll be in her recovery. So already looking forward to her coming back in 2021. As far we haven't sort of looked at the selection yet. That'll be done tonight. We'll have a look at that. But Leah Maskell was our emergency on the weekend, an obvious one, and we had 4 girls play in a game put on by the Footy Commission and all performed really well. So this year we're really happy with our depth, and we said last week the girls that were missing out were confident in coming in and playing a role. Last year we probably had a few who, if we had to get that deep, would have struggled, but this year we were confident with everybody on the list.
It was a pretty good performance. What area do you think you can improve on going into this weekend?
Yeah, probably our conversion, to win the inside 50 count by that dominance, and then for Geelong to still be in the game late is something that we'd like to rectify if we do get that much ball forward, so maybe keeping it in there so it doesn't rebound out and scoring a little bit more, but overall we were really happy with our intensity across the 4 quarters and didn't panic when things weren't going our way and finished the game strong, which we think is our trademark.
Just a line on Sabrina Duffy. She looks like she's going to be quite some player if she keeps progressing the way she has in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, she's just a natural footballer. She's one of those, the first group that have come through playing football for a long time. She's got real smarts about her. And her goal sense is obvious to everyone, but we were wrapped with her forward pressure on the weekend. It's been a big focus of hers, and the way she competed in the air to bring the ball to ground gave her those opportunities. So, we're wrapped to have her on our side, and it'll be interesting to see the match up this week.
It's a famous derby rivalry, of course, between the West Coast and Fremantle. Do you think that extends to the women's game? Are you expecting it to be something extra?
Yeah, I think so for sure. There's obviously just the rivalry. Most of the girls grew up supporting one or the other and then have had to switch allegiances because of where they've been drafted. But then also the crossover effect of so many of the Freo girls being at West Coast and them playing together all through the AFLW as well. So we've got a lot of girls who've come through different pathways but together. So they know each other really well, probably more so than what the men do now when they come from all over Australia. Nearly everyone's from WA, so that rival will be pretty fierce, I think.
Does it feel like the girls that moved to West Coast, that your girls have a point to prove in some terms of maybe they made the wrong decision?
It's something we're not focusing on, but no doubt I think bragging rights would be there and to make them think that if they have gone. So yeah, I think our girls are pretty keen. We moved on really quickly after that changes. There were 30, we had 30 on the list. The AFL said we can only keep 22 and West Coast were allowed to take 8, so it was always going to happen. It was just a matter of who. So that's happened now. We moved on pretty quick and then we were wrapped with the players we were being able to bring in who really embraced our culture and worked hard to be a part of our side.
Do you address that as well when you sort of prepare your... I mean, you can't be more prepared than you are in a derby. It feels like you need to be, doesn't it? Not really coming out and good young dogs.
Oh yeah, look, our preparation doesn't change for this round. We obviously went into last weekend really well prepared. Our girls were focused on their roles, and it's well acknowledged that we've had players that have come over to West Coast from Fremantle, and knowing those girls really well now, they'll be really professional with their preparation. They'll be focused on making sure that when the ball's bounced, they'll be ready to go. But I'm sure there'll be some extra nerves around seeing some former teammates out there. But again, we're really confident that these girls will take that challenge on and be really well prepared. Oh, I think it'll be no different to our first few games of this season. We came up against Richmond, and that was a really tight, heated contest from the first bounce, and again on Sunday when we played Collingwood, it was on from the start. So we look at as Saturday, it's going to be no different, and obviously being our first home game, there'll be plenty of blue and gold in the crowd getting our girls up.
And that'll be interesting to spread of the crowd. What the split will be. You think it'll be even? You think it'll be like a 3-2?
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, I think it's a significant moment for West Australian female football, and in terms of the crowd, we hope as many people can get along to support the contest. And again, being our first home game, I know our girls will be really excited to see a lot of blue and gold in the crowd.
Trent's uncovered another one, Roxy Brew. What do you know? I mean, you're scouting them. What do you think about her commitment to the ball, and she's one to put some work into?
Oh, definitely. Roxy, and along with a lot of other players that are on the Fremantle list, she's a really versatile player. We know that. She can play forward. She can go into the ruck, and she's a really dynamic player. And we'll be planning for her along with many others.
It was obviously a pretty tough initiation into the comp, but what's the main area you want to see improvement in this weekend?
Yeah, it was a tough initiation, but it was also a really good experience for our squad to go over to Melbourne and play against Collingwood, who have got 2 or 3 years on us in terms of AFLW experience. But I think we saw in the first quarter the way our girls went about it, there were some really positive signs. Our ability to pressure the opposition, and maybe we probably didn't capitalise as best as we could have in terms of getting reward for that effort. But I think if our girls bring that mindset and that willingness to be competitive, hopefully we can convert a few more of our inside 50s.
Trent, that was a scintillating game on the weekend. Were you even surprised yourself at just how well your guys played first up and the level of performance by both teams?
No, not really. That's the sort of standard that we want to set, and Geelong really made a focus to improve their scoring this year. Last year they were the second best defensive team in the comp, but scouting them, their ball movement had changed, become a lot more aggressive, and so when you're up for a task, Geelong were fantastic all day. They just hung in there and had a chance to pinch it, and then they did use that ball well on a few occasions. So I don't think that surprised us, the standard. There was a lot of bad conditions played on the East Coast with a lot of wind all weekend, so our game probably looked the most aesthetically pleasing, but we probably had better conditions than most. So I think that's the standard you will see in a lot of the AFLW games this year.
And the Dockers hadn't gone into a derby favourites for quite a while. Do you think you're the favourites?
Probably deserving so. Like, we've played finals. West Coast are a new side, so I think it's fair that we would go in as favourites after round one. With that comes a bit of expectation, but we're not shying away from that. We want to play finals, and that's what we've set ourselves to do. So we'll probably start favourite in quite a few games, so that doesn't change the result. We saw some really good upsets on the weekend. Brisbane beating Adelaide. This competition, if you're slightly off, you will get beat, so we have to make sure that we're up for it this weekend.
Tara, how are you feeling? Big Western Derby, great win, but we'll go back to 0 this weekend against West Coast.
Yeah, I suppose just coming off round one, obviously a really good win for us. But yeah, I suppose we celebrated that win straight after, and then our focus shifted to the RAC Derby this Saturday at Optus Stadium. So we had a light session last night with weights, and we trained today with our main training session. So it'll be really good to get around the girls and hit the ground running for what will be a historic day on Saturday.
Have you got having an affiliation with either of them?
No, I grew up in Melbourne, so I was a Collingwood supporter. So no, but I've been over here for 8 years, and I suppose I've loved being a part of the crosstown rivalry, and no doubt that will continue on into the AFLW. So really looking forward to kick-starting that this weekend.
A couple of cheeky text messages to your maintaining with us.
Nah, there'll be none of that. I'm no doubt there'll be a bit of banter on the field on the weekend. A number of good mates that I play and have coached at WAFLW level are obviously playing at West Coast now. So extremely proud to see them drafted and playing AFLW and living their childhood dream. But I suppose when you cross the white line, it's business as usual.
Are you expecting West Coast to come in with a little bit of a chip on the shoulder, given that you guys are the big kids and that you've been in the comp already for 3 seasons?
Oh, I wouldn't think so. No, not at all. I think, we're all there to obviously a number of reasons, to raise money for the bushfire appeal, to make history, playing the first RAC Derby for AFLW, and we both want to win the game of footy. So I don't think there'll be any of that. I think, again, as soon as you cross the white line, it's whoever's more hungry, whoever wants the footy more, and who can convert when their opportunities come.
What impressed you most on the weekend?
About our game?
About your win, yeah.
I think how we hung in there. Geelong, to their credit, were really good, and we obviously were able to kick away in the last quarter. But I think the effort and the grit and determination of the girls not to give up and continue to press and provide opportunities to hit the scoreboard was really pleasing. I think we were clean at ground level and run and carried and used our weapon when we could. So really, I suppose, looking forward to playing on a bigger ground at Optus Stadium this weekend, so we can use that, I suppose, strength of ours again.
Tell us about maybe playing in front of a huge crowd, possibly a record crowd. Is that exciting?
Oh, it does, absolutely. I think a number of the girls that will play on the weekend for both teams were a part of the historic game back in Year 2 against when Fremantle obviously played Collingwood. So I think we had 42,000 fans there, which hopefully, if we can reach that, would be fantastic. And it's going to be a fantastic event and fantastic day for AFLW and WA footy. And being the first RAC Derby, I think it's a pretty proud moment to play in and to come along and watch.
How satisfying would it be for you to beat West Coast Eagles in that first home game?
Very satisfying. You want to win every single game. With the cutthroat competition, there's not many games with 8 in the home and away season, and the conference system, every game's kind of a grand final, so you've got to put yourself in a position to win each game. But I think this one's got a little bit more on it, playing, some good mates, and you want the bragging rights at the end of the day. But again, just really looking forward to the historic day on Saturday.
And I know I've seen success with Roxy Blue. She did show a bit on the weekend. Did you see that coming? It's like you've uncovered something.
Yeah, we drafted her with our number 1 pick, and I suppose we knew what we were going to get from Roxy. I coached against her at WAFLW level, and she was extremely hard to stop. So I'm glad that she's running around in the purple this year, and she's our asset. And yeah, she's just going to grow and build over the years, and she'll be a long-term player, hopefully at Freo. And yeah, I think we've only just seen the first of Roxy Roo.
And are you expecting a physical contest on Saturday evening?
Sorry guys, just before you just
Moving around already.
Expecting a physical contest on Saturday evening?
Yeah, I think so. I think, as LD said before, we played Richmond 2-3 weeks ago. It was physical. We played Collingwood on the weekend. It was really physical. So, definitely expecting pretty physical hit out as all games are. So, yeah.
what was the reaction of the playing group after obviously the first game?
Yeah, look, we were, I guess, a little bit disappointed with the result, and probably had a few opportunities in that first quarter that we could have put a bit more scoreboard pressure on, and I think the girls are all quite realistic, and we understand that. At the same time, with 10 girls playing their first ever game of AFL, it's hard not to sort of be proud of the pressure and the intensity we brought throughout that first quarter, and we finished the game like that as well. So sort of a bit of a mixed emotion from the playing group, but we obviously reviewed that last night, and we'll start looking towards Saturday now.
What does a dirty rivalry mean to you? What is it?
Yeah, well, I was a Collingwood supporter as well, so I grew up in WA, so and as a lot of the girls have, they've probably grown up. This was one of the biggest days in the football calendar year for us, watching the men's teams go at it. So I think a lot of that, I guess, tradition and rivalry will be taken into the weekend, and yeah, it's a historic moment for female footy and for WA.
Do you feel much pressure because the Eagles absolutely hate losing and doubly hate losing to Fremantle? How do you feel?
Probably no more pressure than what you do against Collingwood in round 1. So everyone hates losing, and I don't feel like that adds any more pressure onto it. But yeah, big rivalry.
Have you scouted them? Who do you think you have to watch out for from their side?
Obviously, we haven't actually looked at them as a playing group yet. Probably do that Wednesday, Thursday. But yeah, we know a lot of the girls, and it's kind of a small state in terms of female footy. So a lot of the girls I've played with and played against, and same with a lot of girls on the Eagles list have played against and with a lot of the girls. So obviously we know Freo's midfield's quite strong, and I know Kiara Bowers had a great game on the weekend. Haven't actually watched it, but have heard about it. So obviously she's one that's going to stand out for them.
Do you think they'll go after the girls that left, the so-called traders?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'd probably ask Cara that one. But I guess if you're talking specifically to Dana Hooker, which I feel like you kind of were, she was targeted for the last couple of weeks. So and whether it's her or whether it's the 31st player on our list, we go as a group and we stay together and we support each other. So.
Feel like you will go after?
Have to wait till Saturday. No, I mean, look, you go hard at every single week. I think it's more enjoyable when you're tackling your mates that you know quite well. But no, look, we're going to focus on our game, and our game's built around that pressure and tackling pressure. So, yeah, no doubt you'll see a hard-hitting contest from both teams.
And how do you stop that midfield? Because they have got an incredible midfield, haven't they?
Yeah, I guess quite a bit of experience through there as well. So it's just a challenge for us, and keep referring back to the last couple of games we've played. But every week you're coming across midfielders that are fantastic, and I think every team's got one or two of them that stand out a lot. So it's a challenge that I guess you have every single week. And in saying that, like, we've got girls in our midfield who bring their own strengths as well. So yeah, we review them, or we sort of preview them leading into the game and see what we can do.